them trying to trade him to somebody. Who the fuck is
To
going to
who?
trade for him right now? They're
Who's trading for
a
Bill
twin
Belichick?
team. Yeah, maybe like 5 years ago, but not right
Yeah,
now. No,
not now.
absolutely
No
not.
way.
We trade
No
him for
way.
a first round pick. What are you talking about? No, that won't happen.
Can't rest on your laurels. Hasn't done anything in 3 years.
Whoever trades for him isn't going to have him for very long anyway.
No way. Hasn't done anything since Brady left. Hey, Flea Flicker Nation, you are tuned into another episode of the Flea Flicker Show. We're your hosts, Fred and Dre. We drop new episodes every Wednesday, every Friday in the NFL season. Subscribe on YouTube and wherever you get your podcast. Follow us on all social media at Flea Flicker Show. Dre, tell them what we got going on in week 13.
Yeah, man.
13. Let that sink
week
in.
13 preview pod. Yeah, we're gonna go over all the games this week, and yeah, it's pretty crazy that it's week 13. Like you said, it's going quick, man. It's going real quick.
Yeah, it's going really fast. I can't believe it's week 13 already. Coming down the tail end of the NFL season. So we might have to put out some in the hunt graphics there on our social media platform just to kind of have some burn there on the social feed.
Yeah, man. There are going to be a lot of bye weeks or bye teams this week, which is pretty weird since they didn't have any last week. It's a little confusing, but is this the last week for buys? Oh no, next week is the last week. There's a couple teams left, but
yeah, week 14.
It's going so quick. Yeah.
Yeah. So what do we got going on here? What are we talking about? Obviously, we
Dude,
got the games. Anything pressing there that you have coming into the week? Any major injuries that happened?
well, Myles Garrett looks like he's going to be okay. He's just got like a sore shoulder. So I think even if he misses this game, he should be back, I would think, after. So that's good news for Browns fans.
And
Every
Vikings are on a
division.
bye, so that's another week that Justin Jefferson gets to kind of heal
Yep.
up. So hopefully he comes back next.
Yeah, I assume he would. Every division right now, other than the terrible NFC South, AFC South, NFC. I think it's NFC South.
NFC South, the AFC South has 3 potential playoff teams.
Yeah, every division leader right now is up 2 games, which I thought was pretty wild. There's literally no team that is like super close at the moment. It's all 2 games. I thought
That is pretty wild. I thought
crazy.
the Chiefs would at least be up further than that on the Broncos, but the
No,
Broncos seem to be rebounded and relatively competent right now. So
yeah, they just keep winning. The Eagles are up on the Cowboys by 2. 49ers are up on the Seahawks by 2. Dolphins are up on the Bills by 2. It's literally every division.
yeah, wow,
It's
that's
wild.
crazy.
Ravens
Some
are up
crazy
2
stuff.
games now. Yeah. But so we're getting close to where teams are going to start actually getting locked into playoff spots. I haven't checked anything, but the Eagles got to be close.
Yeah, they got to be close, like mathematically, to being a lock for the playoffs. I mean, 10 wins at this point is pretty damn good. So Nick Sirianni, I mean, 2 straight seasons that at some point he was 10-1. So that's pretty wild.
Yeah, I think maybe next week we're going to start talking about possible playoff lock opportunities or something. We'll see.
Yeah.
There's still like 6 weeks left, so we got a little time, but I think I'm about ready to get into the games, man.
Yeah, let's dive right in.
Thursday night football in Dallas. The Seattle Seahawks are coming in to face the Cowboys, and this could be an interesting game because we were talking about it last week in the last video. The Cowboys have been crushing teams, but they've only really beaten bad teams. They haven't beaten a good team. And the Seahawks, you could make an argument, I would say, that they're a solid, good team. So I'm very interested to see what the Cowboys can do against this team here. The Seahawks will be without Kenneth Walker, I believe, again. So that hurts. I want to actually verify that. What do you think about the game, though?
Yeah, I think this can be a really good game. This should be a really good Thursday night game. So we don't get too many of those, but Cowboys, they've won like their last 16 games at home or something like that. Now, most of those games at home have been against bad teams or in division games where they can go either way. So the Seahawks, though, they are a good team. They are coming off a loss, and it really depends on how healthy Geno is coming to this game. If he's healthy, they can win this game. If he's not, this will be the first team that has a good record that the Cowboys beat, but it really depends on Geno and how he is coming in. So there is that caveat to kind of put on there, but I hope Geno's healthy. He would make this a really fun game.
Yeah, I think the Seahawks, when they're healthy, like you've been saying, I think they stand a good chance against Cowboys, but the Cowboys seem to be catching them at a good time. I think I'm going to have to take the Cowboys just because Kenneth Walker's missing practices. I don't think he's going to play. Geno Smith played hurt last week and got beat up by the Niners, so he might be struggling. I don't know. I got the Cowboys though, unfortunately.
Yeah, I'm gonna take the caveat. If he's deemed healthy before Thursday, I'm gonna say Seahawks win. I want to know that he is healthy. If he's not, then I think Cowboys take it. But if Geno is healthy, I'm saying the Cowboys are gonna get lassoed by the Seahawks, and they should stick to herding cattle instead of trying to corral the big boys. And healthy Geno makes Seattle tough.
I love it, man. I hope you get that right, to be honest, because I hate the Cowboys. Let's move to the team that I hate even more than the Cowboys, surprisingly, maybe. New England, the Patriots, hate them. The Chargers are heading in to face them, and I think this is an interesting game because the Patriots are terrible and the Chargers are disappointing. So, it could be anybody's game. I'm not going to pick the Patriots, though. I'm going to trust the Chargers to finally get a win here. We don't even know who the Patriots are going to start at quarterback, to be honest. Will they start Bailey Zappi? Will that matter? Probably not. I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, I don't think it matters if they start Zappi because Chargers are going to come in and the Patriots are going to get zapped. I think Bill Belichick, he might be done. He might need a career change after this because he looks a little stale in terms of his coaching ability. But Patriots, they should definitely be in the hunt in the draft. There's no reason they shouldn't take a quarterback in the first round. So they're probably going to stick with Bill after taking quarterback in the first round just to see if they get a new and better option there at the QB1, if that changes how they look. But I still think that Bill's just outdated.
Yeah, I kind of just really want him to be forced into retiring. That'd be kind of funny to me.
That'd be.
I saw Patriots fans talking about like them trying to trade him to somebody. Who the fuck is going to trade for him right now?
Who's trading for Bill Belichick?
Yeah, maybe like 5 years ago, but not right now. No, absolutely
no way.
Trade him for a first round pick. What are you talking about? No, that won't happen.
Can't rest on your laurels. Can't rest on your previous accomplishments. You're not trading a first round pick for a guy that hasn't done anything in 3 years.
And he's in his either late 60s or 70s. Like whoever trades for him isn't going to have him for very long anyway.
No way. Hasn't done anything since Brady left.
Yeah. So we're both picking the Chargers. Let's move to New Orleans, the Lions versus the Saints. The Saints are kind of beat up right now. Michael Thomas hurt. Olave, concussion. Rashid Shaheed hurt his his thigh injury. I'm not sure what's going to go on with their receiving core here. They really do need to start winning if they want to try to win that division. But the Lions need a bounce back win, and I think this is going to be it.
Yeah, I agree with that. I think the Lions are going to roar back to life in this and tame the Saints. I think the Saints might have to stick to marching parades instead of trying to dance with the ferocious Lions in this game. So trying to dance with any team, really, they don't look very good. So I'm taking Lions as well.
All right. That was a pretty easy one.
Pretty easy. They're the better team. They should win. They're going to win.
Yeah, no, I agree with that entirely. Let's move to MetLife Stadium. The Falcons taking on the Jets. This is, I think, my poop game of the week just because I don't like either of these teams. But honestly, it could be a decent game. It
could be. Yeah, this could be a decent game. The Jets defense could make this a solid game against a Falcons offense that has been a little bit, I don't know, just to be nice, let's say underwhelming. But last week, they used the run heavily. And to beat the Jets, you have to use the run. There have been a couple teams that have been able to pass on them, but I think it's just been really good passing teams that have been forced the Jets to be on the field most of the game on defense. But the Falcons don't have that passing attack to where they're going to just continually pester them to put up numbers. So they can win this game if they run the ball, use Bijan, use Algier. They can take over this game. So I'm taking Falcons in this. I think they're going to soar above the Jets thanks to Bijan and their running game. And the Jets should consider trading their wings in for jet engines and stick to flying in the sky instead of trying to keep up with the speedy Falcons.
Yeah, I don't disagree with what you're saying here. I just, I don't know. I feel like I'm going to trust the Jets defense, to be honest. I still don't trust the Falcons much at all. The Jets, not saying I trust them. Tim Boyle confirmed the starter again, and he didn't look great. But I just think he has to not make mistakes, and the Jets defense should be able to hand this team a victory. So I'm going to go ahead and pick the Jets. We're splitting on it.
Splitting twice here so far. So potentially splitting twice. But it could go either way in this. I mean, Jets defense could pick off Ritter twice for 2 6s. So you never know how this is going to shake out.
Yeah, should be interesting. Let's move to Pittsburgh. The Steelers and the Cardinals are going to square off in a game that I think is going to be very lopsided, to be honest. I mean, the Cardinals have shown that they're capable of sticking with the teams, but last week they kind of shit the bed, and this week I think the Steelers defense is just going to shut them down, and their offense looking better without Matt Canada. I feel like this could be like a statement win for the Steelers. Yeah. I'm picking Pittsburgh.
Yeah, it definitely could be, and I agree with everything there, 100%, 1000%. Really, I mean, this could be a get right game for Kenny Pickett and company. The Cardinals don't have a good run defense; they don't have a good pass defense. You could see them put up their best game of the year offensively. So, and their defense is played every week. This can be a tough game for Kyler Murray. So, I just don't think he has enough pieces there to allow them to be what they could be with him at QB. Marquise Brown hasn't done anything. It's really just been McBride. That's pretty much it. But I think the Steelers put the Cardinals in their place in this, and the Cardinals should really think about packing in their bags and flying south for winter instead of trying to soar with teams like the Steelers defense.
Yeah, it'll be interesting what they do after the season. I think they have to keep Kyler Murray. They just put him on a big contract, and he's not really the problem, I would say. He is talented, but it'll be interesting because they have so many spots where they can improve their team. So probably just best player available type thing.
Exactly. Best player available. Could they get Marvin Harrison Jr.?
That'd be huge.
Yeah, that'd be huge for Kyler. So you have Marvin Harrison Jr., Marquise Brown as your wide receiver 2. That's solid there.
Yeah, for sure. But for now, let's move to Nashville. The Colts and the Titans, big divisional game. The Titans are kind of out of the race. The Colts are very much in it, though. They need this one to stay in the wild card hunt. Maybe the divisional hunt. Probably not, but wild card hunt for sure. I think this could be a close game, though. What do you think about it?
Yeah, it could be a close game. You could see Derrick Henry and the Titans defense kind of keep them in it. But I think the Colts aren't horsing around. They're going to do just enough to outpace the lackluster Titans team. Titans offense really just being lackluster, but maybe the Titans should focus on their singing skills there in Nashville instead of trying to hit the high notes on the football field.
Oof, yeah. Last week I was very impressed by the Colts, to be honest. Jonathan Taylor looked like his old self last week, so I think it is a tough defense, but I feel like JT could make a little bit of a difference here, and I'm going to also pick the Colts in this one. I think they're playing for more, to be honest. So,
right. I don't think they're a great team, but they should be able to do enough here to contend for the 6 or 7 seed in the playoffs.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let's move to the capital, the Dolphins versus the Commanders. Yeah.
Yeah, not much to talk about in this game. Dolphins are going to make a splash and leave the Commanders all washed up in this. The Commanders, I'm saying they should pack their bags and should stick to giving orders instead of trying to swim with the Dolphins. So this is not a game that the Commanders should contend in at all. I mean, Howell's probably going to still put up 300 plus passing yards, but they're going to get spanked like 34-6. So, yeah.
This will be the first game without Jack Del Rio as the defensive coordinator. So maybe that makes it a little interesting, but I don't have any faith in the
Probably
Commanders.
not. I mean, they got rid of their 2 best pass rushers this year. So I don't think getting rid of Jack Del Rio is going to make them a great defense when they don't have their 2 best defensive players there.
Yeah, I think Rivera is going to be calling the defense, so I don't know. He's on like life support right now as a coach on the Commanders. It is a nice test game for Sam Howell because he's going to be passing it a lot. I'm sure they're going to be down early. Hopefully, we can see Devon Achane maybe come back.
Hopefully, hell, Tyreek Hill might break the record this game.
How much? Do you know how much he needs? Because I don't.
I have no idea, but he could get like 250 yards this game.
300 yards.
Yeah.
But this is my any given Sunday game because you never know.
Ooh.
You never know.
I don't
have a locked in noise for it, and apparently my noises aren't really working. Did you hear that? I don't know.
No.
Yeah. Dolphins though. Let's move to Houston. The Broncos coming into town. This is a very interesting game. I think it's going to be a fun game, to be honest. We both have a lot of faith in the Texans, but the Broncos and Broncos fans have a lot of faith in themselves right now. They're on a 5-game winning streak, looking to make it 6 against a soaring Houston team that's dropped a couple lately, though. Will the Texans be able to end the Broncos' reign of terror? What do you think?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah, that's it. No, I think that the Texans, while the winning streak for the Broncos has been impressive, I think the Texans are the better team. I think CJ Stroud right now is the better quarterback over Russell Wilson. So I think CJ Stroud puts the team on his back, gets the bounce back win after the close loss last week, and they put an end to the Broncos win streak. I'm not gonna say the Broncos should trade anything this game. I had it written down. They should trade in their helmets for cowboy hats and stick to Bronco busting instead of trying to tame the Texans. But I think they could still muster a few more wins here in the season and make a push for contention, at least into the playoffs, not Super Bowl contention. But
yeah, if the Broncos can win this one, then they're gonna really be knocking on the playoff door. That'd be a very impressive win, I think, too, because people believe in this Texans team. But yeah, I'm going to pick the Texans as well. Pretty much everything you said, I agree with. The Texans should win this. If they don't, then they're going to be on a little losing streak themselves. So yeah, I think they should win this, and they're going to want to win this. And yeah, I'm picking them.
Cool.
Let's move to the 4 p.m. games. Tampa Bay Buccaneers taking on the Panthers in Tampa. The Panthers canned Frank Reich after their Thanksgiving week game. I talked about it, they gave him that 4 years guaranteed salary. I think the Panthers are a complete and total mess, and I don't care. There's no way that the Bucs lose this one. I'm picking the Buccaneers for sure.
Yeah, and despite most weeks how I kind of fade away from the Bucs and bash Baker, I'm not doing that this week. The Panthers are just a bad team. The Bucs are going to sail past the Panthers and lead them in their wake but it is worth mentioning, with a new coach, new offensive coordinator, new QB coach, maybe the Panthers will come back stronger and pounce on their opponents in the near future. But I don't see it happening this week.
Yeah, it is worth noting that I said it when the Raiders fired their coach. Usually when a head coach gets fired, the interim coach comes in hot and everybody rallies around him. I think this is kind of different, though, because the players seem to like Frank Reich, and I just don't see that same rally. That it is the special teams coordinator. Was it like Chris Tube or something? I'm going to look up this guy's name real quick.
Well, you also have to point out that, like, yes, that often happens, but it's usually like an offensive or defensive coordinator that's jumping in. In this circumstance, the Panthers fired their head coach, and then Deuce left as well. And as well as McCown. So they got rid of like their entire offensive group there, besides like the running back coach.
Those were highly looked at guys too, especially for players. They were player coaches.
Yeah, and I mean, like Deuce was a player, McCown was a player. They had a lot of respect
was a
there.
Player.
Yeah, they had a lot of respect there, and for them to be pushed out like that, I think it leaves more of a sour taste in the players' mouths than anything really going forward to kind of give them that motivation to exceed.
Yeah, we'll see how they respond in this one. Chris Tabor, the special teams coordinator, is taking over head coach duties. I think they're going to be a total mess. So yeah, we'll see. Buccaneers though.
Buccaneers.
Let's move to LA. The Rams versus the Browns. The Browns had a lot of injuries coming into last week and suffered even more in that game. Myles Garrett, questionable. Dorian Thompson-Robinson, concussion protocol, questionable. Amari Cooper, rib injury. We'll see if he can play. I'm taking the Rams all day. All day I'm taking the Rams.
All day in this one. I mean, like you said, the Browns are really beat up. And the Rams just look a lot better. They're going to butt heads with the Browns this game, and they should be able to really stampede to victory in this. The Rams should be able to use Kyron all day, just like last week. Be able to just use him in the run game, in the pass game. Utilize Cooper Kupp if he's healthy. Utilize Puka Nacua. Wow, they have too many weapons for the Browns to keep up with the entire game, which they're probably going to be on the field the entire game. So, Rams are going to come out on top in this, and the Browns should focus on baking brownies instead of trying to tackle those the tough Rams.
I will say one thing that could be interesting. So Joe Flacco could be getting the start here for the Browns, which is crazy. Imagine if the Rams get out to a big lead and like put Carson Wentz in. We get a Carson Wentz versus Joe Flacco game. That'd be funny.
That'd be funny.
Bring it back to 2010.
We'll just point out here, Tyreek Hill will not break the record this game, but he needs 604. He just needs 641 more yards the rest of the year to break that record.
He's got 6 games to do it. So
that's a little over 100 yards a game, which he's going to blow by. So
I'm sure he averages more than that. Probably.
Yeah, he's going to break the record for sure.
All right. You heard it here. Tyreek Hill breaking the record. Let's move to your team, Philadelphia. This is definitely the game of the week. This is possibly the game of the year in real life. This could be a Super Bowl preview. No, it can't be. It'll be
NFC Championship preview.
NFC Championship preview. Could be better than the Super Bowl, though. Who knows? Yeah, your team, man. What do you say?
Yeah, I mean, I'm not going with the 49ers. I'm going with the Eagles. Come on. Eagles are at home. The fans are going to be angry. The fans are pissed off about how much the 49ers are whining. So I think the Eagles are going to soar to victory, but the 49ers, leaving them in a sea of tears. 49ers should trade in their whining for some cheese and stick to making sourdough bread instead of trying to take on the fierce Eagles. And if you're not familiar with that sourdough bread reference, San Francisco is known for sourdough bakeries over on the coast.
Well, maybe we'll have to make a trip to San Fran. I didn't know that sourdough.
Funny thing is, when we went there, Talia and her friend who lived there made a specific trip to the port to go to a bakery that was there, a specific bakery, and get a sourdough bread. She went, she picked it up, was walking around San Francisco, up and down all the hills that are there. We get back to the house later that night for dinner. It was not sourdough. It was just a regular loaf of bread. So she made the entire trip around getting that sourdough loaf, and it wasn't even sourdough.
That's tough. That's tough.
But this will be a tough game. Both teams are reeling. Both teams are hot. I just think the Eagles are going to play with a little bit more tenacity, and the fans are going to get to Purdy and company.
I mean, in Philly, it's for sure going to be tough. I thought something was funny. I don't know if you saw this, but the Eagles are a 10-win team, right? The 49ers are what, an 8-win team? The 49ers are favored in this in Vegas right now. Isn't that funny?
That's funny. 10-win team at home, and they're
at home.
They're the underdog.
Yeah, and I'm taking
Philly likes that underdog mentality. So
that's fine. That's fine. I'm taking the 49ers. I'm trusting Purdy to not make any mistakes, and the defense to stop the receivers and force some mistakes. McCaffrey is going to run the ball in at the end of the buzzer to win it. Bing, bang, boom. Write it down.
Should be a fun game. Let's live stream it.
We can. If it's close in the fourth quarter and it's like coming down to a play, we're live streaming it. Or the whole game.
Or the whole game. Who knows?
Let's go to Sunday Night Football in Lambeau Field. Will it snow? Hey, it's gonna be December. We'll see. The first December game in Lambeau for Jordan Love. The Chiefs are coming into the stadium. Aaron Jones still might be missing the game. The Packers have been better lately, though, with Love and the other young players. They seem to have kind of hit their stride here. But the Chiefs are kind of just a different beast, and I don't know if the Packers can take them out. So I'm going to take the Chiefs.
Yeah, I think the Packers should focus on growing cheese instead of trying to outplay the reigning Super Bowl champions. So I don't know if you saw that commercial where the Chiefs commercial where the young guy paints the end zone. And Reed says it's a great job. It looks great, but who are the chefs? I think it's going to be a lot like that. And I think the chefs are a more fitting name because I think they're going to cook up a victory in this.
Yeah. Yeah, I think they will. It could be fun, though. We'll see. Let's move to Monday Night Football. A couple weeks ago, this was going to be a really good game. But with no Joe Burrow, I'm going to take the Jaguars over the Bengals here in Jacksonville.
Yeah, no Joe Burrow. This game is going to be a little bit lackluster. I don't really see too much happening in this, but who knows? I mean, any given Sunday, right? But the Jags have been very up and down, offensively and defensively, and the Bengals still tote a good defense, so they should be able to at least do something in that regard. But I think the Jaguars are going to pounce on the Bengals and leave them feeling a bit striped and defeated. Maybe the Bengals should stick to chasing mice instead of trying to outmaneuver the fierce Jaguars, who are the better cat this game.
Hey, the cat game. Yeah, I didn't think of that. Some bye week teams here. There's quite a few. The Ravens on their bye week. The Bills, the Bears, the Raiders, the Vikings, and of course the Giants. So yeah, not going to see quite a few teams here, but most of them probably are okay with that. This is like a good week for a bye week. You want some of these guys to get healthy in the later stages of the season. So
I will say that the last two games we talked about, the Jags and the Chiefs, those two games could have playoff implications. So they could really impact the standings. Right now, the Ravens have the top seed in the AFC. But you could see if say the Chiefs lose, you could see Chiefs lose, Jags win. Jags go to 9-3, Chiefs go to 8-4. So that would bump them in the standings.
Move into number 1.
They would move to number 2
under the Ravens.
Under the Ravens, yeah. They would move under the Ravens. Ravens are on bye, right?
Yep.
Yeah, so they wouldn't go anywhere. They'd be in a tie for first there, but the Chiefs would be in the third place. So it'd be interesting to see how they do come playoff time if they're not one of the top 2 seeds and they don't get a bye, because that bye is something that they've had and been able to kind of ride on the past few years. So if they went in the playoffs and had to face teams from every single round, the wild card, divisional, and championship rounds, it might be a little bit tough sledding going for them without a team that they with a roster that doesn't compete with what they had previously with like Tyreek Hill, Travis Kelce, they're together.
Yeah, you make a good point. This is the time of year where you got to start paying attention because people are jockeying around in the playoffs.
Yeah.
See who gets the home team advantage, But
for sure, dude.
That finishes it up. That's our prediction pod. It was kind of quicker this week, I feel like, since we didn't have as many teams to look at.
Yeah, it was a little bit quicker. I mean, last week we had every team in the league, so went a little bit longer. But that's a wrap on another episode. Got anything to touch on before we sound off here?
Yeah, touch on this podcast. Like, comment, subscribe, especially if you liked what you saw. If you didn't, then at least comment. Come on, talk some crap or something. What are we doing here?
Yeah. Like Dre said, the best way to support our show is to leave a rating or review or a comment on all platforms to listen on. And of course, by liking the show, make sure you subscribe to the Flea Flicker Show on YouTube. Listen and subscribe wherever you get your podcast. Follow on all social media at Flea Flicker Show. And thank you, Flea Flicker Nation, for tuning in. And until next time.
Peace.
All right, I'm bouncing, going to that meeting.
Perfect timing. We're crushing it. Later, man.